Hey guys, welcome to Art Foundations 1 online, 6th through 8th grade art class. We're going to talk about today, and your assignment for the week is to think about the elements of art as stated above me in the title. So we're going to be looking at 3 works of art, and the first one that we're going to look at is by Miriam Shapiro. The next work of art is Paul Cézanne. Now, I get tongue-tied, and some of these names are foreign, and they are difficult to pronounce. And then Alexander Calder. Okay? So I have on Canvas this PDF printout of what I'm going to be reading to you, and I do either want you to continue to watch this video. If you do, I'm going to elaborate more on the content, which will be good for you, and or print out this article and read it and address the questions at the end of the article. So we're going to examine some works of art. The art is posted here on this PDF document. It states the artist's name, the name of the piece and when it was created, what material the artist used, perhaps acrylic and fabric on canvas, and the size of the piece. 228.6 by 243.8 centimeters. So it's either going to be in centimeters or inches. And it's a private collection by Miriam Shapiro. It'll also list or state at the end where this piece is currently located. So I'm going to read the article and expand on it a little bit. And we're going to learn about how to use the elements of art as a language or a dialogue to come to understand works of art. And even understand creating your own work of art. So we're going to take a look at this first one by Miriam Shapiro. And when most people look at a blank surface, I'm just going to go ahead and read from the article that I created for you guys. When most people look at a blank surface and see nothing, the artist looks at the same surface and sees an exciting challenge. This challenge is to create. And it is our human nature to be creative. We are creative beings, okay? So I want you to study this painting and think about these questions that the artist asked herself when she was creating this work of art. The first one is, how will those colors and shapes be arranged? Is my goal to suggest a feeling or capture a lifelike image? So let's take a close look at this. And you might want to put it on pause. You can look at it here on pause or print out or open up the document. So, how have the colors and shapes been arranged? Did the artist do a realistic image of something or convey a mood or feeling? What do you think? You will learn more about these and other questions artists ask themselves. You will also learn how you can use these questions yourself to better understand art, and especially your art. Okay, the next artwork that we're going to examine is by Paul Cézanne. Now, some of these words are hard to pronunciate, so when you look at the article, if you copy and paste it on Google Translate, you'll probably be able to pronounce it better than I can. Okay? So we'll take a look at this one. What do you see? So the first thing that I want you guys to do with this is just ask yourselves, what do you see? What do you see? Perhaps put the video on pause. Okay, the next piece of artwork that I want you to see is by Alexander Calder. In the article, it states the name of the piece. So this one, strangely, is called The Basket of Apples, Oil on Canvas. And it's in the Art Institute of Chicago. This one is called Sal by Alexander Calder. And it's wire. It's in the Museum of Art in New York. So let's take a closer look at this one. And let's, oops, it's upside down. So what do you see? And sorry about the glare coming in. What do you see? Sorry. Okay. Have you ever heard of a person described as wearing many hats? Saying a person wears many hats means he or she is good at a number of things. And in the article, it's in color, but I got Charlie Brown here, and see all the hats he has? So it's a chef hat, and so on. So look at that cartoon, it's pretty funny. An artist, a person who uses imagination and skill to communicate ideas in a visual form, wears many hats. Among the hats artists wear is one labeled scientist. Wearing this hat, artists experiment with the effects of light on objects. Wearing the mathematician's hat, they carefully measure distance between objects. Wearing the hat of a writer, they tell stories and record events. So there's a distance between this shape and this shape. The effects of light on objects. Maybe the light here. And telling a story. The artist's language. Like other professionals, artists speak a language all of their own. Just as the mathematician uses numbers, the artist uses lines. Much as the way musicians communicate through notes and sounds, artists speak in colors and shape. The writer reveals on words, sentences, and paragraphs. The artists on form, space, and texture. These 6 terms, line, color, shape, form, space, and texture, make up the artist's vocabulary. Line, color, shape, form, space, and texture. And notice I forgot to put a comma between form and space, just so you know. The terms are grouped together under the heading Elements of Art. Elements of art. These are the basic visual symbols an artist uses to create works of art. An artist's success depends on how well he or she uses these elements. So, how well did the artist use these elements? Using the artist's vocabulary, when you look at artwork, it is not always clear where one element ends and another begins. Now I want you to look at the article and I want you to study these 2 works of art. This one is figure 1 in the handout, and this one is figure 2 in the handout. Take a moment, open up the PDF and examine these. You do not see the elements of form and color in the first, or the elements of line in the second. No. think about it. Instead, you see the works as a whole. As you examine each, your eye reads all the elements together. In fact, it is the careful blending of elements that allows you to see an artwork as the artist meant it to be seen. Taken together, the elements in Figure 1 add up to the basket of apples and a bottle. The lines in Figure 2 clearly suggest a familiar farm animal. Can you identify the animal? Reading the artist's vocabulary. Think back to when you first learned to read. Did you start right away with a book? Rather, you began reading one word at a time. This is how you'll learn about the elements of art, one element at a time. So, here you go. What I want you guys to do next is, after looking at the article, I want you to check your understanding. So there are a list of questions. I want you to answer these questions and submit them to me on Canvas. Define art. Define artist, rather. Name the 6 elements of art. How are the elements used in Figure 1? How has your seeing changed for Figure 1 now that you are considering how the artist used the elements of art? How are the elements of art used in Figure 2? How has your seeing changed for Figure 2 now that you are considering how the artist used the elements of art? And just to repeat to you, the elements of art, they are listed. There are 6 of them: line, color, shape, form, space, and texture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So when you create your own works of art, consider how you're going to use those elements. When you look at works of art, consider how the artists have used those simple elements. Good luck and have fun.